Hello and welcome back to the show. My name is still Greg Perkins and I'm still talking about Math 3A for the summer of 2026. So taking a look at the syllabus right here for the MyLab, one thing you'll need to do is copy and paste or remember this course ID. So I copied and pasted that. Also, if you don't have the money to pay for the MyLab, there will be a button that says temporary access that allows you to use it for the first 14 days for free. After 14 days, they will put a hold on your account until you pay for it, but they will not delete your work. As soon as you pay for it, your work is back and you're ready to go. So if you're able to pay for it right away, then and you're sure that you're going to take the class, then go ahead and pay for it at the beginning. If you want to say, you know what, I want to give this a try and see if this class is for me, if you've got any hesitation like that, then use temporary access. Use it for the first 14 days for free. Okay, so I copied the Perkins link. Oh, just real quick, when I was going over the syllabus on the first video, I know I said it, but I really want to emphasize the problem sets and podcast problems. Those you turn in on Canvas using the assignment tab over here. So there's the problem sets, there's the podcast problems, you just click on that, and then that's where you submit your work. For the MyLab work, I actually import that. So once you've finished the MyLab work, your grade is there on the MyLab website, and then I import it into Canvas. Okay, let's get back to it. So I copied the Perkins 08796 and then I'm ready to go. So then I go over to Google and just Google MyLab, and Pearson is the company, so there it is, MyLab. And if you haven't, or if you have used it before, you could just sign into your account. If you haven't used it before, then click Student Access, and this part just say no, or just go down here. You're going to need that course ID, an email address, and then also a way to pay for it. But even right here, they tell you the temporary access for 14 days if you're not ready to buy it. You say, okay, I'm ready to register. And then I paste that course ID in there. And because I do have an account, it says, I recognize you, so go ahead and sign in. For you, it would just be setting up an account if you don't already have one. And then for sure, pick the cheapest option, $105 right here. So this is for a 2-year course, don't do that. So pay the cheaper one. Or if you have financial aid and the Hartnell College Bookstore will give you an access code, then you would go over here. So you need to get that access code from the Hartnell Bookstore and then use that access code over here. Okay, so I'm not going to continue because then it's going to say you're a teacher, you can't pay for this. But anyway, you would continue to set up your account. And then once you do, there's Math 3A for the summer of 2026. And then they do have a lot of stuff in here. So the assignments that are coming up, etc. But if you just go over here to assignments, then all of the assignments for the whole summer are already there with all of the due dates. Not only that, if you look at the name of it, section 2.1, secant lines and velocity, and if you go over here to Canvas, and as I said in the first video, you would open up for week number 1. What are we supposed to do? Oh, section 2.1, secant lines and velocity. So they're named exactly the same. So you'd come in here, look at the notes, watch the video, and then say, okay, I'm ready to do the homework for section 2.1, secant lines and velocity. So you just go ahead and click on that and notice that the due dates are over here. And then you click on that and it takes you to the homework questions. So as I said in the previous video, with the homework questions, you do get an unlimited number of attempts per question. And this section has 8 questions. So when you click on it, if you look at that video that I made for section 2.1, I do questions just like this, find the average rate of change. And when you put your answer, so my answer is 40, 49ers. There we go. And then you check your answer and it says, no, that's not correct. And it even gives you a hint. You should be using the slope formula. And you go, oh, okay, let me redo that. So then you get to do it again, get to put in another answer. And if you need, there's fractions down here and square roots and some other math symbols down here at the bottom of the screen. Now, when you need some help, you can say view an example. And then if you look at their example and you look at the question they're actually asking, so behind here they're asking a function 2x cubed plus 2. On their example, they're going to do 3x cubed plus 3. So it's basically the same thing, they just change the numbers a little bit. And then you could do this one step at a time, excuse me, and go through the steps. Whenever I view this, I actually just go to print, even though I'm not going to print it, because then it just gives me the whole thing and I don't have to click continue, continue, continue. It just gives me the whole thing and I can just read through it and see, oh, I was supposed to put the -2 in the parentheses. That's what I forgot to do. The -2 goes in the parentheses, stuff like that. If you want to ask me a question about the homework, then use this, ask my instructor. So you go to ask my instructor and then it sends me a copy of the exact same question, because it don't just say, hey, on question number 1 of the homework, why does it have x cubed? And I open it up and they changed it to x squared. So for me to be able to see exactly what you're talking about, use that, get more help, ask my instructor, and then type your question in here and it'll send me a copy of exactly what you were looking at. Now, with the get more help, there is also the textbook. And depending on how fast the internet's going. So then it takes you to that section and then it's got some examples. It's going to have links to videos, related study materials. They're going to have, of course, a lot of extra stuff in here, which some people love and some people don't need the extra stuff. So it's basically up to you, but there is lots and lots of extra stuff in here, as well as they have examples, and then eventually they do have embedded videos and things like that. Okay, so when you're done with the homework, just put save, and you can stop at any time. You know, once you're done with number 1, you could take a break, just say save. When you're doing the quiz though, make sure you finish a question before you stop and take a break. So during the quiz, I told it, yes, they can go away and come back to the quiz. But if you opened this question on a quiz and you didn't answer it, if you then walk away and it logs out, then it's going to give you a blank for this particular question. So once you, only in the quiz, make sure you finish a question before you take a break. Okay, so let me then get out of there. So there's basically got the questions. Their numbering system is a little bit weird, so don't pay attention to the numbering system. I just picked the questions. I literally went and looked at every question and said, yes, that belongs in section 2.1. Yes, that's a good example for 2.1. No, don't pick that one, etc. So the numbers are sort of weird, but don't pay attention to that. And then right here, you can just exit. And so, like I said, the quizzes, you get 2 attempts. So you do need to go through, not 2 attempts on each question, but 2 attempts on the whole quiz. So when you go to do a quiz, like the first one is June 17th, for one, they're set up to take about 50 minutes to 60 minutes. So based on previous students, you know, the thousands and thousands of students that have used these, Pearson told me those quizzes, the way that I set them up, take about 50 to 60 minutes for the average student. So just keep that in mind. So you would complete quiz 1, and then you got like 85%. And you're like, you know, I'm not satisfied with 85%. I want an A in this class. Then you would retake the quiz. And just like with the homework, each time you open it up, it's basically the same question, but they just change the numbers. So if you pay attention the first time you take the quiz, take some notes, and as you're taking quiz 1, when you take the quiz 1 again, I'm sure you could do very well because they're just going to change the numbers, but they're basically going to be the same questions. Okay, so that's basically it with the MyLab. Like I said, once you finish, you don't have to submit your grade or anything like that. I upload it from MyLab into Canvas. And another thing is sorry, they changed it just a little bit. Oh yeah. So this is one thing that I really like is you can tell it, okay, we're working on let's just choose chapter 3, and we're working on the derivative. And then you tell it, show me everything you've got. And so then they show you, okay, you can watch a PowerPoint. We have these interactive figures. You could read the textbook. We've got these videos, either the long version, 16 minutes, or short ones, 2 minutes, 54 seconds, etc. So basically in that section, then they show you everything that they have. All right, so that's basically it. Please let me know if you have any questions, and have a great summer.